Hello everybody and welcome in. It is time. We've got this is like my competitive anti-Hercules meta team, but as you're all here for, the title, the thumbnails, we are going to be testing out Gaston. No one taunts like Gaston, no one dies like Gaston, no one's as useless as Gaston because he is trash and needs a buff. But luckily he is getting a buff and he is no longer going to be this old Gaston. So this is him previously. He's pretty bad. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to throw him into this team, into like a what would be competitive team, and we're going to see how good or bad he is, what potential he might have, or what there is just lacking. So right off the bat, he's fairly slow like a lot of tanks were, which do get some speed with gear tier 8. So I'm not sure if his stats are going to change, but we will soon find out. But as you see, he's got a couple of speed increases that will just help him up a little bit, but still not much at all. He's still on the very slower side here, and he's going to go up to 115. Yikes. That's pretty trash. That is pretty trash. But as far as all of this goes, so I mentioned this in the patch notes video. If anyone here hasn't seen the patch notes video, I have previously done a showcase on Gaston as the best tank in the game, and people do find it hilarious now. It is the old format of what the game used to be like when the beta first started, but he used to be amazing. But his kit here is all a reflection of that. So here we are seeing he'll deal damage, and there's a 10% chance that he'll do a follow-up attack, so he can do 2 attacks at once, and he'll gain offense up. That used to be pretty solid. And then at max, if also, so extra chance to do a follow-up up, so it'll be 20%. And then if you have any villains teammates, the chance increase this chance by 30%. So it goes, I'm not sure if that goes up to 50 then, or if it then becomes 40. But either way, it's still kind of But the way this used to work, this also works in with his passive. So he's going to gain 4% max health, but also that used to be he'll be gaining shield, which now is not the case. It used to be gain shield as X amount of his damage, which is no longer the case. Then 40% chance to gain defense up whenever he gets offense up, and the offense up is by getting that, doing his basic. That is how it all worked in the old version of the game. Go and check it out for yourself. I'll put a link in the comments below. And if that old video is my most video this month, I will be doing a special additional Gaston video. If you want to see that challenging, it was challenged to by Disney Daddy, so we'll see if that happens or not. But I've got to let you all know that may potentially be a thing, to make that a special video. Do a bit of something funny or something silly or something. We'll see how it goes. But the way this used to work in the old game, check the video if you want to see what it was like. They'll be attacking in real time, so every second he'll do his basic. It'll be basic, 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 and then what that'll do is like boom, he'll be popping up offense up, and then he'll have a chance at doing his basics, getting a chance to get more attacks, dealing those defense up, gaining that shield consistently. And for a tank to be doing that, I think it was like every second and a half or 2 seconds, like just on around that 2 second mark, just under, is how often he'll be attacking. So he'll be doing that, boom, gain defense up, which would last a second or so until the next attack, and then if you could continue it on, he'll just continue to protect himself by gaining more shield, by gaining more offense, by gaining more defense, and he'll be nasty that way. And that's why he was amazing, as well as his kit was just a whole lot better, like all these abilities. This used to cast this ability here, Storm the Castle. That was the best thing about another best thing about him. You could choose a whole row. It used to be on rows before, kind of like adjacent, and then all that row will gain haste, and you just be going nuts. So now it's kind of like full speed, which is like, oh, that's okay. And then chance to gain haste, which is increased to still a small chance. So hopefully that gets increased, but we'll see. Also, now with the way tanks are, this to get a taunt on this in 1 turn is just nowhere near enough. And it's a 4-turn cooldown. A tank that is slow, that takes a long time, that's only a taunt for 1 turn is not very useful. So hopefully that gets some good treatment. That deserves to get some good treatment, hopefully. But we'll see what kind of treatment it does actually get. And then this one here. Back in the old version of the game, you could either choose to do a lot more damage or blind a lot more. And all depending on where you position things. So it'll all be about positioning. Whereas now it's just standard. It's going to do damage and it's going to give blind, maybe do a bit of blind to adjacent on a 30% chance, which is not much at all. It'll be nice maybe seeing like a 2-turn blind with maybe a 1-turn on adjacents. Maybe something like that. Just you need a lot more these days. So we'll see. Anyway, that is enough about looking at what Gaston used to be like. He's not much to look at. Not very good. But let us jump into a battle. We'll show you actually how fast or slow he is, what potential there is out there, and then we'll move on forward for that, and we'll see how all of this goes. And this is going to be like a very rude awakening to one of the new metas. Full speed. You're going to see how slow he is here. Full speed team on the opponent's side. They don't have any speed buff like using Miguel or Hero or anyone else like that, but the speed difference is going to be there. Yes, they're all tier 8, so here's a tier 7, but let's see. Look here. See how far down his 2 meter is. Look at this here. His 2 meters like itty bitty little. Well, where is Gaston? So that's a big yikes. First off, so I'm just gonna go here, get rid of this, go throw this up here. And I'm just going to try and get rid of Ursula, because I don't want Ursula around at all. And then we're going to work through and go doing the rest. And we'll see if Gaston actually can like I think we're going to be fairly guaranteed that he's probably just not going to get touched. He's like, no one's going to care about him, no one's going to touch him. That's, I suppose that can be a bonus. That can be a bonus if that is what you're going for. But if that's not what you're going for, and if that's not what you want, then a little bit of a yikes. Sorry. Yes, get rid of that. Get rid of that. You won't die. You won't die today. Yes, Sheriff, steal that MP. Okay, pretty sure it's gonna die. But, and yet, like, yet again. Like, Gaston is just... That's so sad. It's so sad when they pop off right after he dies. That's like one of the things that I find like the worst. It's just like, no, why do you choose now to do it? That is definitely one of the worst. But let's get our Sheriff back and see, like, Hercules had a turn, already on his 2nd turn, before anyone else. Before Gaston is even... How did I just my turn? Oh, gaining speed meter. That's why. But what we are going to do, I'm just going to go spread out the offense down, just so I don't get shredded by these characters. And maybe we'll protect Gaston enough. And he's probably going to do this on Herc, but... Oh, he's just trying to drop... He's just trying to drop the evades now. Okay, I see you there. Maybe Gaston will see, like, look, like, but like, check this out, like how fast everyone else has got turns. His team is just looping around, just going round and round, and we have got... Oh, ouch. We have got like nothing good. We have got like nothing good, and that is gonna be Gaston. And see, like, they're already just taking away having the turns. Hercules is like running around in loops and is already nearly at his 3rd turn. He's going to be at his 3rd turn. He would have been at his 3rd turn by the time Gaston had a turn. Like, hey, Ursula, 2 turns. Hero, 2 turns. My opponent, all those turns. So, what I would be doing about now, I'll get the taunt out. I could go for the blind, but let's go for the taunt. See if we get lucky with the evades. Oh, evades, the hastes, and nothing. Like, that's it. Get that. It's not game over, but like that's all there is to it. There's nothing, no more to this at all. I don't care about panicking. Do I care about? I suppose I care about panicking pain. I don't want anyone else in stasis. I should probably be getting rid of Davy right about now, but hey, my Gaston is taunting. Alright. I'm just gonna see if I can take him out here. Yes! Just so that he didn't get a chance to do a whole lot of damage with all those buffs. But like, there we go. I hope you enjoyed this Gaston showcase. Like, that is it. That is it right there. That is what you're struggling to do with Gaston. Maybe we'll jump in one more. Just so you have a fair look at what else he can do or what he can't do. But mainly, like, speed, killer. The rest of it, like, for a taunt, it's kind of nice that he gets a speed buff. Like, but I hope he gets a perfect chance to talk about some of the buffs that he may get. We were having a talk here on stream. If you're not part of my Twitch and you want to follow me, you want to check me out live, link in the description below. But we were talking earlier about what potential buffs could they do if they give him some treatment, kind of like we've seen in Frollo, with Frollo, Esmeralda, with Gaston and Belle. Oh, that'd be so cool. When like Belle takes damage, he can potentially like taunt or do something or get buffs. If Beast does damage or taunts, maybe Gaston could jump in there, purge the taunt, stab him in the back with a knife, just like he is good for. That's pretty much all Gaston is good for in it. But if he was an anti beast right there, that could be so interesting. That could just stir things up so much. I would love to see that. But I've already talked about what other changes, like his basic and his passive, why they need changes, and what needs changing. But okay, I've got a silence on there. Do I want to? Yeah. I was considering, do I want to do that on Hercules or do I want to do it on Baymax? I'm just gonna go for Baymax for now. I want to control Baymax and Herc, but Belle is the spoiler right there. And steal the MP. Alright. That is not good at all. I need to deal with him. I need to deal with him a lot. And having him go next was not good. That was a waste of my protect. I could definitely do with the offense down there. The offense down is a nice touch. And there. Thank you, Herc. But now Baymax is healed, and that's gonna be trash. So that's gonna be disappointing. And Hercules gonna do the same to what I just did to him. But yet again, all these characters will get in, have turns. Gaston just struggling along back here. Come on, Beast. Stop, Beast. Sheriff. Deal some damage. And now who's probably going to throw the patient on?
You are my patient. I would like to help.
That's the worst. That's the worst. Alright. And now, I kind of feel like just throwing a turn to Gaston. But that'll be absolutely terrible. I'm going to go throw this back over to Herc. And, yes. Yes, Sheriff. Do it. Baymax and his evades. Give me a crit. That was fairly unlucky not to get a crit there, just because of how Sheriff's basic works. Just before Ursula's turn, and still, like, all these characters, like Sheriff, 3 turns, Hercules on his way to his 3rd turn, and this is gonna be this is game over here. Yikes! Unless I could have taken him out there, that's game over. And game over before my tank gets to do anything. So that is Gaston for you. That is what Gaston is doing. Next to nothing, sadly. Oof. He's gonna get slapped around by his Hercules now. Ouch. And still, like yet again, all these characters getting many turns, all these things happening. It's so sad. It's so sad. And we can't even get a turn with Gaston. Oh, he's gonna take him out right before his turn. That was my chance of actually surviving. And still, Gaston just sitting back there, having a little cry to himself. No one wastes time like Gaston. No one doesn't take turns like Gaston. No one sits on the front and does nothing. But yeah, like this is. I can't wait for him to get a kit upgrade. Let's try again. 1 haste. We got 1 haste. So that is like a bonus. That is a bonus. But like the speed meter gains. In today's standards, it's pretty like nothing. It is pretty nothing. It's like kind of like, oh, it's kind of nice, but in actual effect, it is kind of nothing. And there's other ability that we're just not gonna get a chance to see now because of all of this. Because we're just not gonna get a chance to see it in action. It doesn't do much. It does a little bit of damage. It does blind for return, and you got a chance of doing it to the adjacent. So it's kind of like. Gonna need something else. Like there, if they buff him, and when Beast taunts, just Gaston just jump out behind him and poke a knife in his back. Who wants to see that? Who wants to see that? I want to hear from you guys. Who wants to see that? We'll carry on here. I think Gaston is just gonna get absolutely slammed here, and we'll see if he can actually stand up to some punishment as a tank before he actually gets a turn. Let's see. Let us actually see. Will he stand up to some punishment? This will be the last little trial for him as a tank. Here we go, Gaston. And ready to be just wiped the floor with right now. Come on, Gaston, show how amazing a tank you are. Yeah, so welcome in everybody. That was the old Gaston for anyone who's looking back in the future when he's actually buffed and hopefully good. But I can't wait to see what it's actually going to be like. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of him. If he is now good, let me know from you future people. I love hearing from future people. So I'll see you down there.